Going on to you, Aries. Uh, so as Kratos would say, Aries. But anyway, you Aries have the Three of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Star card right here. Oh, the link is in the description. The link is in the comment section below called the Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website in which there's ways for you to be able to financially support me so I can most definitely keep the channel going. Appreciate you. So for you, Aries, you have the Three of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Star card. A lot of very strong decisions on you Aries' side being made when it comes to the context of love. I see very much so. See, the Three of Wands represents a lot of serious choices. It represents being in a fork in the road and having to essentially pick wisely, right? When I say the fork in the road, I mean there's the lane that you came back from, so it's going backwards. There's right, and then there's left, right? Even straightforward. So that's where it is that you Aries are. The Ace of Cups and the Star card, a lot of you Aries may want to know some sort of specific procedure. Look, listen. You want to know, and when I say specific procedure, I mean the Ace of Cups. You want to know what is a surefire way to make sure that you get what you want without having to get hurt. And I've said this before to a lot of the other signs. I've probably said this before to you, just as a reminder, which I don't have a problem with reminding you. So here it goes. Listen. Love and rejection and heartbreak are literally in the same vein. Okay? They're in the same vein. Okay? This is the thing that so many people try to run away from. They have the ideology where it's like, well, how do I make sure? Truth is, Aries, you can't. There's no 100% way to actually be able to get what you want. I've said this before and I'll say it again. People are not toys. People are not animals. Animals are getting smarter now. So obviously, a lot of you will, right? So the Star card, you really have to be able to work with someone. Because what I'm seeing here is, I'm seeing that a lot of you Aries are just kind of like jaded a little bit. Like, oh, how can you make sure that you get what it is that you want and you don't have to deal with the nonsense? You just want the person to come in and do this and do that. And it's like, listen, you have to be able to figure out ways to make sure that you don't end up getting tired of the situation as far as getting jaded, because what's going to happen is you're going to begin to resent it. And that's the last thing that you Aries want to do, because when you resent it, that's when the desire for control starts to pop up. So the Moon and the King of Cups, it's just showing you even more. You know what's going on because you, in essence, stay away from weirdos. You get to know people, they reject you, you stay away from them. If they are showing you signs of not really being on point as it is, you still stay away from them. You stay away from them as much as you possibly can. I can't stress this enough. Stay away from people who are going to give you nothing but problems and issues. You stay away from those people. And that's the best way for you to do. So that's the best thing for you to do. The Three of Cups represents, and the Five of Wands, it's all about how a lot of you are like, I don't really see any of you with anyone at this particular time. The last Gemini reading that I did, I talked about how it is that, you Geminis was just getting out of something with somebody, and you found out the hard way that you really weren't in the same boat with this person. This person wasn't in the same boat with you. They had their own ideas. You Geminis had your own ideas. The Three of Cups and the Five of Wands is about how there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an indication or a sign that you should not be with them. But the Three of Cups and the Five of Wands, a lot of you may think of it like, even if you were to go out, you may still end up not getting who you want. And look, Gemini, look, Aries, not Gemini, Aries, look, Aries. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. A lot of y'all got to get it through y'all heads that love and discomfort and rejection are in the same vein, okay? A person can love you, but something comes up where they have baggage and they're not going to actually successfully be in a relationship with you. And you will have to essentially let them go. There's been many people who I may have really liked in my own past that I wanted to get to know, that may have even liked me, but they had so much baggage, and I didn't want to go through that because I was going through. I was becoming a more developed person. I was becoming a contributing member to society. You know, a young individual that's coming up is the point that I'm trying to make. So I had to learn this as a teenager, in the sense that for me, I had to learn that whatever it is that you may want, and there was some people that I really wanted, at the end of the day, unless they are willing to meet you halfway, in the sense of meet you halfway and want you to, and actually take action towards being with you, none of what it is that you want matters. It matters in a sense that you know this is you and you know what you want, and you know you're learning more about yourself, but it doesn't matter in the sense of you're being able to get a relationship. And the problem with a lot of honestly, because this is and the reason why it is I keep saying it like this, but I'm gonna say it. The problem with a lot of these grown-ups is, and the reason why it is that I say that the problem with a lot of these grown-ups is because these are things that people are actually supposed to learn when they're children, coming up as teenagers, and by the time they get into their adulthood, 20, 25, older than 25, they already have these core principles. It's just that we didn't learn these types, most of us didn't learn these types of principles coming up, learning how to let go and stuff like this. So you know what happens? Because we didn't learn of these principles, you have a lot of grown-ups who have control issues. They don't know how to let go. They don't know when to. So the point that I'm trying to make here with y'all, Aries, is the idea that you, Aries, have to understand that love and rejection are in the same vein. Because what would be the point anyway of trying to manipulate the person into being who you want them to be? You're not going to be happy because it's excessive work. It's too much work that you're going to have to manipulate them, and then afterwards keep every now and again manipulating them to put them back up underneath the spell. But then you have to also lie to yourself, because in their natural desires, do they want you? If their free will, if they knew what was going on and they were conscious and they were able to make decisions, would they want you? Right? So there's no point in being jaded. There's no point in being upset. There's no point in being angry. There's no point in feeling like, why am I not able to get results and things like that. So the Queen of Cups now represents, so what do you, Aries, do? You push forward, you live your life, and you continue to get to know others. You have the King and the Queen of Cups in the same reading, but away from each other. And that's what it means. It just means that you have to get to know other people. The Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups represents, and don't let other people gaslight you into thinking that you're not on the right track, or this is what needs to happen. Listen, there's a world. I've had people genuinely interested in me, but the circumstances, we couldn't be together. They moved away, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, couldn't get with them. Young, too young, stuff like that, right? I'm young, They're young, so, but at the same time, I've had that. And the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups is about how you have to be patient, Aries. You have to be patient, okay? Let's clarify the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about you walking away from the need for you to walk away from that ideology, because it's going to do you more harm than it will a service. You have the Queen of Wands, Five of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and then you have the Five of Swords. So these 5 cards right here are all about how you, Aries, have to understand that, because the situation for you, Aries, this is really about you being, you're going to be encountered by some people who have to save face, who have to, make it seem like basically they're in the game, is the point that I'm trying to make. So they're going to try to make it seem like you're chasing up after them. And like it is that I said before, Aries, when somebody likes you, right, because y'all are just now getting to know somebody yourselves, just like Gemini. When y'all are getting to know somebody, right, and the person is not in the game and they are open for a relationship, they are healed enough, all of this crap about you telling them that you like them and you shouldn't tell them that, and will they flake, none of that stuff is going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because they're going to be actually interested in you. This is how it is that you, Aries, can tell the differences between when somebody is truthful or when someone is truly in the game. When someone is in the game, all of these parameters and all of these hang-ups and why they can't do it and why things aren't going to work and all this other type of crap, all the stupid garbage. When somebody's interested, they don't care about, you know what I'm saying? Like they're actually paying attention to what matters. They're not being prejudiced against you, basically, right? Based upon how long your hair is, how wide your hips are, how tall you are. These are just all of these hypergamous games that people are playing out here on both sides who are in the game. They're in the game. And they be cutting out whole demographics of people on both sides. Because those are the parameters, that type of prejudice, you just cut whole demographics of people out. Oh, I like the people who I'm talking to be an 8, 9, and 10. She gotta look fly, she gotta be on point, she gotta do this, she gotta do that. It's like, all right. Light skin, dark skin, this way, that way. She gotta be a baddie. All this other type of crap, right? Can be an amazing person when I meet the person, but I don't want to get to know this person. Why? Stupid reason. I don't want to get to know the person. Why you ain't want to get to know them? Because the person had green sneakers on. Like all this other type of stupid. So you can tell when a person is in the game because they got a battery in their back about having to look at you and scan you up and down and make bold predictions. This is where you get people who will look at you up and down and do this and look at your shoes. That's where you remember that era, Aries, of people looking at your shoes and determining what type of, all of that stupid stuff. Like you got come on now, stop. You got Bill Gates who wears Skechers, who wears Adidas. Stop. Knock it off. But you got all these people who think they know, and it looks mentally ill is what it looks like. It looks stupid. But you have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, right? And this is about how, and that's the point that I'm trying to make, Aries. This is why some of you are graduating. And what I mean when I say graduating, I mean some of you are beginning to understand how easy this thing is. And you're right. It is that easy in the sense that when somebody is interested in you from that perspective, right, from this junction, right, Specifically, this is what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is when somebody is interested in you, they're not going to be this prejudice and bias and disrespectful. When they don't have an ulterior motive, they're not going to be doing all that. People who do all of that, they're in the game. They are essentially looking for someone to sandbag off of. And what I mean by that is grift off of, take, parasite, leech off of, come up off of, stand on the other person's shoulders. That's why they have to be so elitist with how it is that they choose. Because once again, Bill Gates he doesn't wear fancy sneakers like that or fancy footwear. None of them do. If you pay attention to them, Dana White is worth $1 billion. Dana White shows up with t-shirts and jeans and regular Skechers sneakers, right? Regular Adidas, regular Pumas, regular footwear. It's not this high-priced shoe. It's not. The t-shirt could be worth $1,000 because Gucci sells t-shirts with no the branding on it, but it sells it out the back in the sense that that's their exclusive stuff. You wouldn't even know that t-shirt cost $1,000. It's literally plain as this, as far as like no like designs on it. It's just an orange shirt. Gucci sells shirts like that for $1,000 a pop, each like $1,000 for every shirt. Then they sell the low quality trash that the regular individual sells with the logos on them. You understand why I got this face on? So when you Aries begin to understand how simple it is, you can now shrug your shoulders and be like, yeah, I don't care about none of this hypergamy stuff. Forget about all of this hypergamy stuff. All this hypergamy stuff is trash. I ain't listening to anything. I don't care. And the Five of Swords is, guess what's going to happen, Aries? Now you become a problem. You know why are you a problem? You a problem in the sense that now you Aries can move with power, and now you understand what go on. Now you don't even have to care about people talking about how you don't look a certain way. As long as you step out the house looking presentable. You don't look or smell in any kind of particular way where cops will tell you to move along. You Aries will walk right up to people. What's up? How you doing? Begin to talk to some people because you understand that all of this crap is a game, and that the people who are caught up in it, they're the biggest losers.